my favorite verses, and I have many favorite verses in the Bible, is from Romans 4, verse 17. And I particularly like the New King James Version, which goes like this. God, all that is, calls those things that do not exist as though they did. God, all that is, the creator of the universe, that aspect of everything that's in you, calls things that do not exist, apparently, to our eyes, as though they did. Well, I'm awed and amazed at this incredible power in we human to transcend what seems to be into what can be. I was awed and amazed at the Olympics. I must tell you, you just have to bear with me. My voice is getting better. In the morning, it's clear. But as soon as I come here, must be your fault. No. But I'm awed and amazed at what people were able to do in the Olympics. The many things they trained, and that's the word, trained themselves to do. Years ago, my wife and I went to see a show, I think it was at the Ryman, I'm not sure, of Chinese acrobats. And we were just sitting there like this. And people were turning to each other and saying, how can they do that? How do they do that? Well, here's how. They had an image in their mind. And they practiced the image. Yeah, it was hard. I'm not saying that all things are that hard, but they practice it. So I'm awed and amazed at people like Jim Carrey, you know, the actor and comedian, who wrote himself a $10 million check back in the 80s. And then 3 years later, he got a $10 million check for a movie. So I'm awed and amazed at people like that. I'm awed and amazed at anyone. Musk, Elon Musk, Edison, Flagler. I was reading about Flagler. Maybe you don't know Flagler. But he built a railroad along the east coast of Florida. And it was all marshland. And people said, no one will ever ride it, and no one will ever do it. But it opened up that place that we call Miami now. And he had an idea. He had a vision. He had a picture in his mind. So I'm thinking, it's just odd and amazing to me what people can do when they put their mind to it. You see, I'm awed and amazed at this. Anyone, any one of us here, anyone anywhere, because of who we are, children of the Most High, can create a dream if we see it, if we feel it, and if we allow ourselves to speak like it's true and act like it's true. Amen? I'm awed. You like that word, awed? Awed. Amazed. I'm awed and amazed at that. I'm often amazed that spiritual seekers all over the world, from time immemorial, have sought these things, same things that I'm teaching you right now. These same things. From the Buddha to, I don't know, I'm not going to go into it, to Jesus. If you will change what you're saying, and change what you're seeing, and change, most importantly, what you're feeling in your heart, your life will change. That's the secret of success. That's the secret of healing. That's the secrets of having your dream, whatever your dream is. So, remember that Romans verse. God, that you, calls those things that do not exist as though they did. Okay? There's a similar verse where Jesus says, when you pray, believe you have received. Well, that's been a stickler for me. I don't know about you, but it's been for, how in the hell can I believe something I don't have? Well, it starts with a feeling of allowing, and it starts with a good feeling, and then it starts with an idea, and then it starts with a picture of that idea, then it starts with a story of that idea that you run over and over and over in your mind until it becomes so clear to you. There's no room for anything else. And then, by this law that we always talk about, this law that governs everything we do, it has to come about. Well, I'm always awed and amazed at my life about so many things that have happened good to me that I never imagined could happen. Yet they did. Why? Because I started believing that I'm part of something so much greater than I am, and yet is still what I am. And this greater part of me can do anything. Anything. So I believed in something greater than my hillbilly upbringing. I had a relative ask me once, said, "You trying to get above your raisin, boy?" And I said, "Hell yes." So I'm often amazed at my age that I expect more good and more good and more good. I expect more good things to happen. And I'm awed and amazed that over the years, that once I have accepted love and gratitude and more joy, I've learned to generate my desires. And that's the word. You can generate love. You can generate joy. You can generate compassion. You can generate gratitude. It's easy. You just say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Turn to someone and say, thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you. Thank you. You know, just that little thing, you raise your vibration. Do you realize that? Well, you see, something generates the word, because a thought is an electromagnetic signal. Now, I'm not a physicist, like we have some here. I'm not a physicist, but I've learned this much about quantum physics. The electromagnetic signal goes out to the universe that thought has. because you're a field of energy. And that electromagnetic signal goes out. And thoughts like that can come back to you, but they won't come back unless you feel it in your heart. You must. But see, understand something. When you send out that signal, the universe must respond to you because you are what it is. It doesn't see any difference. It says, you are what I am. Therefore, yeah, here. Take this. Because you're it. You know, recently we went to Asheville, and I got this little thing. You can't see it, so I'll tell you what's on it. There's a picture of a dog in front of a big mirror, and he has a sign on him that says, dog, right? And he looks at the big mirror, and pretty soon his tail starts wagging because the sign in the mirror says, God, right? Dog backwards. And he goes, I knew it, I knew it. So that's important for you. You have to know you're part of something greater and that this greater responds to you. The only thing you have to bring the experience that you send out to the universe back to you is the feeling that it's done. Well, what's that? A feeling of love, a feeling of gratitude, a feeling of joy. Look at it this way. Why do you want something? To feel good? Or do you want something to feel bad? If you do, you're a little strange. But if you want something to feel, all of us want to feel good. So the key to having anything come back to you is to start feeling good, no matter what. No matter what. Shall I say it again? No matter what. There's that voice. No matter what. So, there's a law, part of the law of mind that we teach here, an aspect of it called the law of reversibility. Say that, the law of reversibility. Okay. Well, in physics, it's simply this, law of reversibility. If I have a heat source, like TVA, it's got these big places all over the place, right? Generate electricity. And they use coal to fire up the furnaces to build heat. And that generates electricity. Well, the law of reversibility says, well, can I generate heat with electricity? Yeah, I've got an electric stove. You. So yeah, it always worked. I can name other things. But metaphysically, what the law of reversibility means is if I can produce a feeling that resembles the state, then the law of reversibility means I can produce the state. You follow me? Let's say I see some people here who are real estate people. If I wanted to sell a house, then I would imagine myself selling that house. So, and I imagine myself getting that check Now what I feel? Good, right? Law of reversibility says, before that happens, start imagining and start feeling good. And then that will happen. Am I making any sense? All right, if I am, this is your turn. Turn to someone and explain the law of reversibility to them. It's your challenge. There you go. Okay. The only thing you have to remember is this. If a state produces a feeling, if I sold the house and I feel good, right? Then a feeling can produce a state. Do you get me? If a state produces the feeling, then a feeling can produce the state. Wow. That's how much power is available to you in your imagination. Because you're God who calls things that do not exist as though they do. Wow. So the trick to any demonstration, any manifestation, is to feel good before you have what you want. And this automatically puts you in the vibration of what you want, of having it. You see, man, it's the vibes. Right, dude? No, I'm not trapped in the 70s. Well, maybe I am. So, this teaching has been wonderful to me. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. I think I told you that last week. But it's really been wonderful, and I'm awed and amazed by that. And it's been wonderful because I learned to apply it. And it's been wonderful to see so many people who grabbed a hold of it and made it their truth as well. So, I want as many as possible to attend my upcoming class. Starts this Thursday. You have to sign up for it. Now, originally, we were asking $150 for it. And it was worth every dime. But listen to me. If you've been on the fence about it, I don't care about the money. We're offering it, and I talked with the church, we're offering it on love offering. Everybody say yay. So, if you really want to get this stuff, if you're new here, or you've been coming a while, and you're going, well, this sounds good, but I don't know, so many of them are nuts. I'm awed and amazed by weirdos. What about you? Because they make things happen. Sometimes good, sometimes not. But I want you to be awed and amazed at yourself. So sign up. You can sign up on the website, and we'll take care of the money later.
What time is it then?
Huh?
6:30 is the time? Yes.
Oh, it's Thursday, 6:30. We're having it live here. And where is that? back there. Okay. So we're having it live here. And it's also on Zoom. So if you miss a class, you can take it, or you can take it all on Zoom. I don't care. But I tell you, you'd be awed and amazed at yourself if you start applying it and make it work. Now everybody say amen. Amen. You're going to have to talk for me. You know, I was at a Joe Dispenza event. It was a week long, and it was deeply meditative and all that. But actually, it was stuff that I kind of learned in Science of Mind in my studies, but I hadn't really applied some of it. So they had a little hoodie there, little green hoodie, thin summer hoodie, I guess. But on the back of it, it said, "Remember your future." What? Remember my future. Here's what he's talking about. When I focus on something, when I pay attention to it, could be something happening to me or a study, doesn't matter. The neurons in my body, the peptides, the hormones, the oxytocin, the dopamines, the feel-good chemicals, and the orexins, the feel-bad chemicals, can all come to play. And all of that starts changing the actual tissue in my brain and body and heart. Did you know we got brain cells on the top of our hearts? Neurites, they're called. They're actual brain cells. Well, so all that, as I focus and become impressed, all of that starts forming a memory. Understand? Okay. So the more I focus, the more intense I feel, the more love I have for what I want, the more joy I feel at just being alive, the more compassion, the more gratitude. Gratitude I feel as I find things, little things to be grateful for. The more this neural tissue starts forming into something that we call a memory. So we're forming a memory of something that has not yet existed in the three-dimensional world. And we form it in our five-dimensional God-self world. Aren't you awed and amazed at that? Wow. We keep looking for things out here. Oh, my life would be so much better if Denise would just change. It would be so much better if he would do, if they would. That's what politics is all about, isn't it? Start focusing on what can be, on the love, the joy, the compassion, the gratitude. And all those neurites and peptides and hormones, and the tissue starts forming itself into a memory of that event before it happens. And then you know what? God calls those things that do not exist as though they did. Wow. You're building the building blocks of memory that you can remember that will create the event. You're training your thought. Ernest Holmes says, train thought is much more powerful than untrained thought. Positive thought is much more powerful than negative thought. Did you know that? Well, Neville says this. He says creation is finished. What? What? That's a strange thing to say. Creation is finished. He hasn't seen my life. Here's what he means. The field of everything, all that is, God, is an infinite field of pure potential. Anything that could possibly exist exists in it. You say, how? Because it's infinite. So that's what he means. And what that means to you is that your dream, your desire, your goal, the thing you really want, is already finished. It's already there. Some of you have big dreams. You're going to have a big gratitude, a big heart, a big love for what you want, a big desire to make a memory before it happens. I'm awed and amazed at you. Do you get it? I don't think you get it. Say this, I am awed and amazed at me and you. One more time. I am awed and at who? And okay. Dr. Andrew Newberg and Mark Waldman in their book, How God Changes Your Brain, says this, among other things. He says positive thoughts neurologically suppress negative thoughts. Every time. So if you got a negative thought, I know, hard to believe I ever had a negative thought. But when you have a negative thought, a positive thought suppresses it. Now understand, you can't have two thoughts at the same time. Well, some of you might. That's a strange condition. No. You can't have two thoughts at the same time. So when you have a positive thought, which is so much more powerful, and as you train it, it becomes even more powerful. And as it becomes more powerful, it automatically suppresses the negative thoughts. Oh. Friends, you have to work at it. You have to be around people who are doing it. Otherwise, all their negativity is going to influence you. So you have to take classes. You have to read books. You have to encourage your own compassion for life and for others. You have to encourage your heart to love. You have to encourage your heart to feel gratitude. And you know what? You have to encourage your heart to feel joy. And you keep doing that, and I guarantee you, if you can do that all the time, all your dreams will come true because you have. Do you understand? So, think this thought good. Isn't it wonderful that we live in the United States of America? Isn't it wonderful that we can vote? Isn't it wonderful that I can walk? Isn't it wonderful that you can smile? Isn't it wonderful that we can jump up and down if we want to? Isn't it wonderful that we can do what we want to do? No matter what the political situation or who's in power or who's not. Isn't it wonderful to be awed and amazed at who we truly are? Turn to someone and tell them 5 things that you're grateful for, beginning now. Okay, I see some of you back there. Some of you back there, I can't think of 5 things. How about this? I got toes and ankles and soles and legs and knees. There's 5. Don't kid yourself. You can be grateful. So remember this from Romans, from the book of Romans. God calls those things that are not, that don't exist, as though, there's that word, as though. They do. They're not out here in 3 dimension, but they're in here. And your mind has a clear picture, and in here in your heart, as a feeling of it. As a feeling of it. And so it is.
Welcome to the Sunday service at CSLN. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. The Center for Spiritual Living Nashville offers spiritual tools for anyone seeking a more fulfilled and meaningful life through a deeper connection with a higher power or universal truths. Be sure to subscribe below if you enjoy our programs.